The sun shone brightly as Laiba and her little sister Halima arrived at the London Zoo. They walked through the grand entrance gate with their parents, feeling the excitement in the air. Halima felt a flutter of nerves, so she reached out and grabbed Laiba's hand very tightly. Laiba looked down at her sister with a warm, reassuring smile and squeezed her hand back. She spoke softly, "Don't worry, Halima. I am right here with you the whole time." They strolled past colorful flower beds, listening to the distant calls of various zoo animals. Suddenly, a thunderous roar echoed from a nearby enclosure, causing Halima to jump in surprise. Her eyes went wide as she looked up at Laiba, asking, "What was that loud noise?" Laiba pointed toward a massive stone structure and replied, "It is just a lion, little sister." They approached the lion's den, where the king of the jungle paced with powerful, heavy steps. Halima felt a shiver of fear and quickly hid behind Laiba's back to stay protected. She peeked out cautiously, watching the lion's golden eyes scan the perimeter of his home. Laiba leaned down and whispered, "The lion looks scary, but he is safe in his home." She added, "We must respect these beautiful animals, not fear them, for they are special." Halima nodded slowly, feeling her heart rate settle as she watched the lion rest peacefully. The sisters continued their walk, feeling much more confident as they wandered down the path. They spotted a narrow, winding trail that led away from the main crowd of visitors. Curious, the two sisters decided to explore this quiet path together, hand in hand. They walked for quite a while, enjoying the shade provided by the tall, ancient trees. Soon, the laughter of other visitors faded away, replaced by the rustling of leaves. Halima looked around and noticed they were completely alone in this part of the zoo. The trees seemed to grow taller and the shadows longer, making the place feel quite strange. Halima whispered, "Laiba, I think we are lost." Her voice trembled slightly in the quiet air. Laiba felt a sudden jolt of fear, but she knew she had to remain brave for Halima. She took a deep breath, trying to keep her expression calm and steady for her sister. Suddenly, a sharp noise came from the thick bushes nearby. Crack! Crack! Went the branches. Halima gasped and pulled Laiba closer, her knuckles turning white from her tight grip. Laiba stood tall and called out, "Who is there?" Her voice echoed slightly in the woods. The bushes rustled violently again, and the girls held their breath in anticipation. Out popped a funny little monkey, chattering loudly and swinging from a low-hanging branch. The monkey made a series of silly faces, tilting its head and blinking its large eyes. Laiba and Halima looked at each other, and a wave of relief washed over them. They both burst into laughter, their fears vanishing as quickly as they had arrived. "It is just a monkey!" Halima exclaimed happily, pointing at the playful little creature. The monkey did a quick somersault before disappearing back into the safety of the trees. Despite the laughter, they realized they were still lost and needed to find their way. Laiba remembered her parents' wise advice: stay calm and think when you are in trouble. She stopped walking and scanned the area, looking for any sign of a familiar path. Her eyes landed on a small, weathered wooden sign, partially hidden by some tall grass. She walked over and wiped away the dust, revealing an arrow pointing toward the exit. "Look, Halima, this way to the exit," Laiba said, pointing excitedly at the sign. Halima clapped her hands, feeling a surge of hope as they turned toward the path. They followed the signs carefully, keeping a steady pace as they navigated the zoo. The familiar sounds of the main zoo area began to return, bringing them great comfort. Finally, they rounded a corner and spotted their parents waiting anxiously near a fountain. Halima let go of Laiba's hand and ran forward, hugging her parents tightly with joy. "We got lost, but Laiba helped me stay brave," Halima explained with a proud smile. Their parents hugged them both, relieved to have their daughters safe and sound again. The whole family felt a sense of peace, happy to be reunited after their little adventure. As they walked toward the exit, Halima reflected on the lessons she had learned today. She said, "I learned something important today, dear sister, while we were out exploring. When we are scared, we should stay calm and always stay together," she added thoughtfully. She looked at Laiba and smiled, "And animals are not scary if we respect them." Laiba beamed with pride, happy to see her little sister growing so brave and wise. The sun began to set, casting a beautiful golden glow over the entire zoo grounds. They walked toward the gate, talking about the funny monkey they had seen earlier. The sisters felt closer than ever, knowing they could handle any challenge together. It had been a day filled with courage, respect, and the bond of sisterly love. They stepped out of the zoo, feeling tired but incredibly happy with their day. As they headed home, they knew this was a memory they would cherish forever.